Hi, my name's Declan Goodman and I'm the host of the Digital Mythology podcast. Welcome. I'm very excited about this podcast. I've been in IT tech for too many years. You can tell by the grey hair. I am very excited to start this podcast. It's about, in my view, digital transformation is difficult. It's hard work and a lot of money spent on it. But what, in my view, there hasn't been enough investment on is telling the story. Everybody loves a good story. Everybody needs a story they can connect with, they can feel. Everybody needs to be able to identify with a good story. And that's what I'm here to do in this podcast, to help you use tips and tricks from ancient mythology, from modern day approaches to digital tech, to win the hearts and minds of your stakeholders, to use metaphors so that you can gain understanding and to ignite their passion and interest in what you're doing so you win stakeholder buy-in and you can be overall more successful. I will be inviting guests onto the podcast. I want to hear from people's experience in this space, and I'm very excited to be able to do this with my audience and to talk through tips and tricks on how to make things overall more successful for you. So, without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back. Declan Goodman here, your host for Digital Mythology. Today is the episode I'm going to focus on is the third pillar, which is catalyst. If you've missed, if you want a bit more context and you haven't had a chance to do so yet, please have a look at the introductory episodes. I introduced 3 pillars to the Digital Mythology storytelling framework and how they add value. Today I'm talking about catalyst, the third pillar. All right. So catalyst. What's it about? Well, there's a flame in the icon. It's about igniting and sparking engagement. So any good story, again, the first pillar should be Shin, which is heartfelt. The second pillar is metaphor, which means use simplified language. And then the third one's catalyst. So after you've got the language right, you got the metaphors in place, you got the feeling going on, we then have to close it with action, with, drive, or as in conjuring passion, conjuring interest from your audience, from your stakeholders. I mean, this is the most important piece really, because this is the bit that motivates stakeholders to engage on your digital transformation journey. This is the bit that clarifies stakeholder roles. So what's their job? Are they to be informed, or are you expecting some heavy lifting to be done by this stakeholder? This is about, taking the goals of your digital transformation journey and tying it back to desire, to drive for that stakeholder. They understand the why you're doing it with the Shin. They understand what you're doing clearly with your metaphors, but now it's the drive. If I was to speak freely about this, it's really about how, Catalyst is about how to help your stakeholder identify within this story. What is their identity? What is their role? What benefits is in it for them? How I'd say it is, if the catalyst is strong, then you're building out champions. And the person, if they understand clearly these motivations and they identify with your digital transformation journey, they'll become a fellow catalyst. They'll be out inspiring others, bringing other people on this. And this is not fluffy talk here. Like, I know inspirations and identity sound a bit, identity matching with your story. But like in any good story, I mean, if you think back to any stories you've ever heard, it's that kind of goosebumps sensation is important, but what's more important is understanding where you are in that story. So you either project yourself into the story. I mean, that's what movies are all about, right? They take people out of their real world, and you either see yourself as the hero or the villain or the protector in the story, whatever. People relate, and this catalyst piece is definitely about that. So your digital transformation journey is hard enough. It's complex. and we need stakeholders to support us. And you need people to fund it, the sponsors. There's other people in your organization you need to change how they're doing things. You got to start using the new system someday. Start using the old one. You got to have deliver benefits. So you got to understand what good looks like. And to do that, you have to put your stakeholders right into the story. And lastly, let's not forget, if we are ultimately pedantic about this, the most important person in the story is the customer, right? Is your customer. So how do we make sure that we have a customer identity clear so that all of the staff in your organization can see that their role and what they're doing in your digital transformation program or your digital uplift is actually effectively, proxying into making it a better customer experience. So, I chose the word catalyst. I wasn't sure what other word to use to represent ignite and transforming. The transform piece here is about, the mindset. So, to do digital transformation, we need everybody to be on board with transformation. And catalyst is, in the English language is really about, it's the seed, if you will. It's the flame that then leads to lots of other energy. And so that's why I chose this word, if you were just curious. But it does, represent me. That's why I made it the third pillar, because the third pillar is the actionable one. It's the part of the storytelling where you're tying back actual outcome expectation. So let's think about it. If we talk about examples, give me some. I want to give you some examples around how you could use Catalyst, the third pillar. So let's talk about. You might have a stakeholder concern with your digital transformation about, how will this change, like when will the change happen? And it doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. Your transformation program is 3 to 5 year outcome. What impact is it going to have on my daily work? Now, that's a common digital transformation concern. The catalyst side of it could be, well, we have to ignite an identity. We have to ignite a driver in the stakeholder who are asking this question. A nice way to use it would be, we could say, look, there's going to be a lot of work that you're not going to see for the first couple of years. So, but we need you involved right from the beginning. It's like a bamboo tree. There I am using a metaphor again. A bamboo tree, you may know, spends, I think it's up to 4 to 5 years as a seed under the ground. An incredible amount of time. Been nourished in the soil. And then I believe it's within, and correct me if I'm wrong here, welcome feedback, but I think it's a matter of months. It grows to 9-10 foot taller. So straight up. And that's sort of what like digital transformation can be like, right? You can spend 2 to 3 years on a major program, new ERP system or whatever it is, technical debt remediation or your cyber program, whatever. It can be sitting under the soil, not seen for quite a while. And then all of a sudden it just, it's ready to go live. And out it comes. And, often with your stakeholders, they might be saying, well, that's not really going to affect me. I mean, that's a program that I don't have to worry about. Where the catalyst comes in is the bit around saying, actually, no, we want to bring you into this digital transformation planning early. And what we want you to do is think about your business and identify yourself with what will your business look like in 3 to 4 years from now? Where do you want to be with your business? And we want to know that now, because as we plant the seeds of transformation, by the time it comes into fruition and you now have a new digital capability, we're enabling your business to be where it needs to be. So you see, tying that back to the business, saying to them, digital is an enabler. We're not doing tech for tech's sake. we're actually building out digital transformation, a new target landscape to serve your part of the business and other parts. Now that's a nice way to help them to find identity in your story. It's not about tech doing tech stuff. It's about there's work to be done in our digital transformation to deliver out what you need in your part of the business. And we want your engagement now, early, to frame the requirements, to give us direction of where you're going. We want to give you a role. So part of Catalyst is role definition. What's your role? What role do we have for a finance director and their team? And it can be everything from, if they're directly going to be users of the system, perfect, the typical way, user requirement definition, but there might be other roles. There might be compliance related roles around, or there might be some roles where we need your support with the vendor management side of things because it's SI is involved and it's a complex vendor landscape. Either way, you have highly participant roles or you have less participant but more informed roles. This is your classic change management stuff, stakeholder management. But what I'm trying to emphasize here with this catalyst pillar is what needs to be tied back to giving each of your stakeholders, in the story, a place. And that can be as simple as saying, look, phase 1, go live of this new target solution. Your role is your participation is not required to change at all. Keep doing what you're doing. But when we get to phase 1, we're then going to do a whole load of migration of data into the new platform for phase 2. And that's where your role becomes the author. We want you to author and help us scribe what the old way of working, which are processes and data, into the new way you want to be. So they would then see that as their role is participant in the overall quality of the data that's going to come out the other end. Other stakeholders, their role could be more involved. You might want them to help design part of the processes or how the system will work. So that's what Catalyst is about. It's about, making sure that each of your stakeholders, while they're aware of why you're doing it with the Shin, and while they have the metaphor to understand what you're doing, there needs to be that hook back into ignite that interest. And, I'm not talking about where they're going out there and celebrating your digital transformation program. It's unlikely. They're busy doing their own things. But there should be that, clear to them, well, I know what my role is now at this time. I know what my role is going to be in the future. I'm clear. I identify as I'm going to be the, they could be identifying as a champion of the system. So they're a big supporter. Or they could identify as, it's not actually related to my area at all. So I'm just going to, to be fair, they probably feel more safe knowing it doesn't impact their own operations. As opposed to the other identities could be things like they feel that they want more involvement. I mean, that's the best outcome of Catalyst, right? Is where you explain what their role is and the business stakeholder turns around and says, actually, could I be more involved? Could I give you a team member to sit on that working group, to be involved with some of the decisions that you're making? Catalyst is about getting that driver for change, getting that motivation. I think to go further on this, I think it would be good if we can, as in when you're putting yourself in the shoes of the business or the non-technical stakeholders, you're trying to sell this digital transformation story to them. You're trying to win that sponsorship and win that buy-in. I think it's important that you go back to the making it about them. I don't know if script writers do this. They probably do. Where when you're writing a good story for a movie, say, you maybe do a bit of a scan of the demographic of the audience. Please, contributor, let me know if I'm wrong here, but I'm just assuming it. And the audience might be certain demographic, topical, political, what's going on in the world at the moment. Is there, there might be some cultural aspects to and maybe the script writers, leave bits in, cut bits out and leave other bits in to the script to get that better engagement. And this is what I'm saying about your digital transformation story. You should do this with your digital transformation plan, with your program. Is you need to start saying, look, for this audience, at this stage of the transformation, we need to be pitching this kind of hook, this kind of identity to them. And again, none of this is, sometimes it might come across it's all overly thought out, overly scientific. It's not. Like any good story, somebody should find their own place in it. And whether that be simply they're informed and they're aware, fantastic. It's a good outcome. They're not threatened. They're not curious. Whether it's to give them a sense of they can identify with the story. They have their own goals that they believe are going to be met by the transformation. It takes away the rumors or the, unnecessary politics in the organization. It cuts through it. And it's going straight to the individual to say, we need you to be part of this digital transformation story. This is why. This is how we're going to engage you. And we'd like some participation for these activities. We will keep you informed. We have a plan. If anything changes, we'll let you know. And your opinion and your feedback is vitally important to us. So we need to make sure they feel heard. We can set up structures, communication groups to do all this, but digital transformation, it's not IT's journey. It's not the CIO's journey. It's the entire organization's program of work. And this is how you as an individual or as a stakeholder group identify and the rationale and the drive, really the motivation to be involved. Please feel free to share your own concepts around Catalyst, about igniting the flame in others. I'm sure lots of change managers out there listening would have a lot to add here. I'd love to hear from you. Again, digital, I think, to be fair, digital affects everybody almost in the organization. So I'm pretty sure there'll be lots of experience out there among the audience to share. But yeah, please feel free to share and comment. But the last pillar of the tree, this one I would recommend is the one to spend time with to make your digital transformation story and your journey actionable. People need that hook. People need to feel involved and motivated.